All right, lads, Imperial Bodybuilding here. I bring you the latest bodybuilding news from around the world. And as you all know, Urs Kalasinski has just won his second Open Pro show of the year in Germany. But I'll be honest, it was close. I've watched the show now about 3 or 4 times. And I'll be honest, I think that Quint Beastwood improved from Italy. I thought from the front he was just as good. From the back, I thought he was better. I thought his detail, I thought the density, the conditioning was on par, if not better, than Urs. As you can see, Urs needs to stop the shaking. But this is Quint's fourth show of the year now. Obviously, he finished second to Jordan Hutchinson. And even then, it was very close. But no, look, you have to take your hat off to Urs. I would have given it to Urs. But if this show was in the States or Canada, then I think Quint Beastwood would have got it. I just think he was the better bodybuilder on the day. But look, you can't take away that lovely silhouette from Urs Kalasinski, the taper going into the waist. It's sublime. Him and Stefan Kinsel, this is the physique of the year. I'm not saying it's the best physique, but I'm saying what he's done with Urs Kalasinski is absolutely incredible. Don't get me wrong, he's not perfect. We go to the back shots, and even though he's added, 30 to 40 pounds of muscle, I still think he needs to work, especially on the back double. The back lat spread really improved on the width and the density in the middle and the rhomboids. But it's going to be interesting going into the Olympia. Where do you think that Urs is going to place, lads? Can he finish in the top 10? Okay, so here you see Hassan Mostafa. He is 55 weeks out from the France Pro. Lads, I actually said to him on his Instagram that he was 55 weeks out and he blocked me. It was a joke, it's a joke. I didn't mean it. But no, I think Hassan's got an amazing physique. He's just a mass monster, an absolute freak of a bodybuilder. The only problem is, he's 2 weeks out from the France Pro. Where he's going to be going against a very conditioned, up-and-coming Stefan Matala. But look, lads, he never comes in condition. I don't know who's prepping him, but his full, those muscle bellies are just absolutely incredible. If he could dial it in, I think this man is a top 8 Olympian. This was 2 years ago at the Vancouver Pro where he went against Stanimal. Not a worthy adversary, but this was really good conditioning for Hassan's standards. Again, he looks more like he's got that Fred Flintstone, just blocky sort of look. But I'm a fan, and that's why people want to see him, because he is a freak. This was his best conditioning to date, and if he could replicate this, which I don't think he will, I think he's past it. He's nearly 40. He's 40 plus. I don't think he will, and he's going to be going up against Stefan Matala. I'll be honest, as good as Stefan Matala is, I'm not jumping quite yet on the hype train. I just think that he is very narrow from the back. He's a very short guy. He's only 5'5", 5'6". And when he goes up against Hassan, obviously he's not going to be able to compete with that sort of size. But if we look at that chest, the most muscular, it's absolutely insane. Let me know, lads, is Stefan Matala, obviously he's got crazy potential, crazy genetics, muscle bellies to die for, insane legs, but is he overrated? Because I'm hearing Ivan Bodybuilding talking like he's the next Ronnie Coleman. But look, again, you can see here, there's not a lot of lat taper. The arms don't have the greatest peaks. And this is a genetic thing. So I'm not saying he's overrated, don't get me wrong. But I just think he's not as good as everyone's saying. Look, we're going to see him at the France Pro. And going up against someone, a beast like Hassan, we're going to see where he stands. But look, that back definitely needs improving, because that's some of the guys in Classic have a bigger back than that. That is not an impressive back, and the arms, there's no peak from the back. But look, massive potential. Now we do have an update from Nick Walker. This is from 3 days ago, but still, I just want to highlight and I want to show you how Nick Walker has improved the quads. The quads were one of Nick's weakest body parts, along with the chest. But I think that Nick, I don't know how he's done it, and I'm going to accredit it down to training plus drugs. He's obviously blasting both. But I just think that we're going to see probably the best Nick Walker that we've ever seen. And I know, lads, and you're getting sick and tired of me saying that, okay? But every time I see Nick, like, I know he's just finished a leg workout here, but the absolute, look at the sweep on the outer quad. This is something that we don't see from Nick often. We're not seeing as many updates from Nick now, but I can tell you now that he is coming to do some damage at this year's Olympia. Now, Derek Luntford, he's just posted this just before. Look at the quality in the quads, and Derek isn't known for world-class quads, but you can just see the fibers and the density, and it just highlights the absolute genetic freaks that the top three, the top four are. I don't think it's a weak area of bodybuilding. I just think that, there's so many guys that are really good. It's hard to just pinpoint one guy, and it's very easy to pinpoint people's flaws. Is Hadi, he recently posted a quad picture as well. This must be the quadricep week. Hadi makes me laugh. He's a very strange guy, but you have to love him. I don't think that Hadi's made tremendous gains in the quads, but what he does come is feathered, striated, and massive. Ryan Terry in men's physique, I think it's the most boring of the categories, but this man is a specimen. I think he's got an amazing physique. I think if he wanted to step up into classic, he'd do very well. And this is Jeremy Buendia, your former Mr. Olympia men's physique champion. Do you think, and I don't think most of you are interested in men's physique, lads, but do you think that Jeremy Buendia coming back can take the title back from Ryan Terry? I prefer Ryan Terry's physique, but I do like the mentality of Jeremy Buendia. He's got that rugged, pitbull-like mentality that just never gives up. And listening to him on podcasts and interviews, he's really matured, because a couple of years ago he had anger issues. He wasn't a likable guy. And another former champion is Brandon Hendrickson. Brandon took last year off, and I think that this guy has an amazing physique. Again, I think he could do well in the classic physique. Quite a humble guy. Do you think that Brandon has a chance? This is the man that has changed bodybuilding. Urs Kalasinski. Because of this man, you are now going to see more aesthetic physiques, lads, because let's be honest, we've been used to, last couple of years, just outside of the top three, top four, just big lumps of physiques. Not pretty, not aesthetic, but Urs is bringing back, I'm not going to say 90s, but he's bringing back aesthetics, and I think you're going to see so many more classic guys now have the confidence, because Urs has opened the door to say, yes you can win, and open show and qualify and do well in the Olympia. So let me know what you think. Are we looking at one of the best Olympias this year? Because everyone seems to be in shape, everyone seems to be healthy, and look, I just think we're in for a treat in every division. If you haven't already, let's get into the discussion, guys. Leave a comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.